talking about the Board of Education, we have a great school system, obviously, number one among thousands and thousands and thousands of districts. Couldn't we be number two and try a little harder, and try to have some savings there? There's apparently a lot of things the town would like to be spending money on. Is it really that big a deal to go from a class size of 19 to 19.5 or 20? But it's always a given that, well, of course, we're going to give the Board of Ed a 3%, 4% increase.
Yeah, so you're asking my opinion on that. Yeah, I like again, I had a career on Wall Street. So I had a career in a place where we'd be working 80 plus hours a week and we'd be, having breaking records for revenue that we brought in. And I was in fixed income. And yet, let's say the equity department's having a bad year. So we're told that across the board, there's a 10% cut in every department across the board. And you're like, what are you talking about? We're here, 80 plus hours a week, 80 to 100 hours a week already. Wait, I'm going to have to cut two people. Like, how can I do that? When we're making, so I guess what I'm trying to say is that yeah, I could see like telling the Board of Ed, like, guess what? Like, you got a 1% increase this year. Like, you're doing a great job. Like, I don't think that just because they keep the budget flat, it means you're gonna drop from number one to number two. Like, I'm not convinced that's true. And so I guess by telling my Wall Street story, what I'm trying to say is that I feel like every area has some amount of fat that can be cut from it, basically. And I think the Board of Ed is no different, that if we told them, you're flat or it's this much of a cut, like, yeah, is it painful? Of course it's painful. Could they do it? Of course they could. Is it going to mean that you're going to drop from number one to number two? Like, I'm not sure about that. I don't know. Nobody likes cuts, and I guess it's up to Board of Ed to figure out where they would cut. Um, you know, I don't think teacher salaries is like the place to cut personally, because I think teachers are your number one, they're in the trenches, they're your number one person that's going to succeed, that guarantees success. But I don't know, does every room need a new whiteboard every 2 years? Like, I don't know, use an old whiteboard. Is that terrible of me to say? I don't know, but that's kind of how I feel.